Keep that to yourself.
It's a good way to start.
I'm glad that wasn't recording that bit.
Yeah. And we're here again. Not so good of a weekend after last
London
weekend's.
is shit.
Yeah. None of our teams won, which is good for nobody. We will dive straight in because Luke's got to fuck off somewhere.
Get your priorities right, Luke.
9 o'clock on a Sunday evening.
All right. Our hundreds of listeners are going to be so fucking disappointed now, Luke.
So disappointed.
Because they're not going to get like the rant.
The rant or the bicker. But let's start with Tottenham then. Obviously, I didn't watch it. I say that's obvious. Nobody knows that I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it. I've seen the goals and I've looked at the stats. But go on, Luke. You take the floor away. You watched it.
Yeah. So typical Tottenham. That's all I have to say. Typical Tottenham.
Let's move on.
Yeah, well, pretty much. I mean, when you say typical Tottenham, I mean, it's going to be.
I spat my tea out then.
Sky Sports are saying we dominated. Yeah, I'm just going by them. I know with the whole last week of controlled the game situation. Yeah, Sky Sports saying that. I watched the game. We looked good considering it's Newcastle and a bit of a bogey team for us. Yeah, they are. It's frustrating. It was we played better than what we did last season, or even the season before that, and playing Newcastle.
I'd like to say you got a goal this time, but even they scored that one.
Yeah, I know. It was. We had chances to keep them. Like Pope made some great saves. Like they left it to us to shoot from outside the box, and if the keeper's like Nick Pope, as good as he is, he's going to be saving those all day, unless they're going like top corners, or take the odd deflection to go in, like it did with the. Well, I'd say deflection. It was a deflection of sorts, but the own goal, I thought the defender should have probably.
I mean, he just bangs it into the top of the roof of the
net,
didn't he?
He should have done like a Kyle Walker clearance, like a
just outside.
Pele.
Don't try and do it over the. Like, why is he trying to do it over the bar? Like, there's no one behind him, right? Like,
no
I've
one.
seen it once.
Yeah, no one behind him.
So he could have just literally just let it play across his body and just hit it out, right?
Yeah. Oh, exactly that. Yeah, the game was like Football Manager. When you're playing Football Manager, you're dominating a team.
He loves Football Manager.
Yeah, love Football Manager.
He wants a sponsorship. That's what he's after.
That would be nice. Again, I don't know if we're going to get done for saying for the words Football Manager. I have no idea, but Mike can edit that out if need be.
I mean, as long as you don't say anything negative about the game, I guess.
Oh, no, it's a great game.
I've got all the licensing this year. Let's move on.
Yeah. So we had 20 shots and 6 of them on target. They had 9 shots, 3 of them on target. We scored an own goal. They got an own goal for us, and they had 3 shots on target and scored 2 of them. We're just not clinical enough. We've got Solanke's out injured, Richardson's out injured. We played Kulusevski up front.
Do you know how? Oh, Kulusevski up front. So Son didn't even play up front.
Son played on the wing.
Okay, didn't he play up front last week and you?
He scored 2 goals. Yeah, I don't know his tactics. I don't know what's going on. Odobert was on the right. Madison was decent. We played well. Like we had possession, 66% possession overall. Loads of crosses, loads of long shots. I said typical Spurs. It's just that we couldn't get that second goal when we needed it the most, which would have shut the game off. I think we probably would have went on for a third goal as well.
Yeah, we opened it up.
It didn't. We left space at the back. They put a lovely through ball through. No one was catching. Isak, I think he scored.
Isak did score.
Yeah.
It was it
Murphy, wasn't it?
That played it across to him.
Yeah. And then played it across. Yeah. The player that ran on. He's pace. But look, it's Tottenham. I was happy with the way that we played, and it was improvement from last season because it was like 6-1, I think, last season.
Just to go back on that, you said nobody would catch Isak.
Not Isak.
Isn't your centre half rapidly quick?
Van der Ven wasn't there. Didn't play.
Did he not? Okay.
No, he was
injured. Or
injured.
he can't be suspended already, can he?
No, injured, mate. This is the thing. We've got Solanke, Richarlison, and Van de Ven injured. Dragerson played well, but there's not really much to say about the Spurs game. Like I said, it was just a typical Spurs. Spurs fans will know exactly what I'm saying here. Is that we didn't get stonking from last season, which was great. So there was improvements there.
This sounds like your Bayern Munich talk for the pre-season. So you didn't get stonked, so you're happy losing 2-1.
No, you got look on the bright side of things. The thing is, we're always negative Spurs fans. We're always like quick enough to put pitchforks out to Ange Postecoglou. Just say like, look, your tactics are terrible. You should have made the sub sooner. You should have done this. Should have done that. Should have done this. In this instance, it's like, well,
Who do you have on the bench? Like, could he even make subs?
We had Bergvall, Moore.
In fairness, Brennan Johnson came on and literally impacted the goal.
He did, yeah. He looked really good. Bentancur was on, but then the other players was like Alfie Devine, his midfielder. Ben Davis, he's there as just if anyone gets injured at the back. Spence could have done all right at right back, but Porro wasn't really doing bad. It was only until he dropped his head for the throw on, and then they scored from that. Werner, he come on, didn't really do much. It was just subs were a little bit too late. 74th minute, 82nd minute. It was just subs should have come on a bit sooner, like they did with Brendan Johnson at half time. I just feel like that was the only problem. But looking at possession and looking at the way that we played, it was a step up from last season. So I have to look at the positives. Yes, they're a bogey team for us, but we got stonked 6-1. This time it was 2-1, which we could have won the game. A bit like Leicester City. We had chances and we should have won that game, but we didn't. There's just something there that's just not getting us over that edge yet, which is probably going to be the reason why we might struggle to get top 4.
Quality players.
I don't think that is, Mitch. I don't think it's quality players, mate. I think we've got the players that are there. That I mean, look at Newcastle.
You have got the players that are there.
You know what I mean. We've got the quality players that are there that can push us for top 4.
Do you, honest opinion, do you think, like, who did you predict in your top 4? Spurs were in there, weren't they?
Yeah, 4th.
And do you honestly think you've got a better team than Aston Villa, or?
I think so. I do.
United.
United's an interesting one. I think United. I don't even think we've got a better team than Chelsea. In fairness, it's just when you look at the players that they've got on paper. But as a squad,
but even so, Chelsea's on paper. Like I'd say Cole Palmer is the outstanding player, but who else there is getting into top 4 teams?
If we go on the right hand side, I'll say that Madueke. Is that how you pronounce his name? I've probably destroyed that name.
Yeah,
I saw him in the Chelsea game on the right side. I think he played.
Yeah.
He looked quality. Like if we was to compare him and Brennan Johnson, I'd probably go with him. Brennan's good, but he hasn't got that finishing, as we mentioned last week.
So him or Leon Bailey? Out of the 3 of them.
Leon Bailey, I guess, with experience at the moment, just because of experience in the Premier League. Brennan Johnson's come from Nottingham Forest, and now he's playing in the top 4 team. I'll say top 4 team in a big club now.
Yeah, I mean, you're not a top 4 team yet.
No, we're not. So that's why I changed it to big club.
that's what I'm asking. Is like if I look at Tottenham's squad, you've got Son, fantastic. Bentancur has looked good when he's been able to play a consistent run of games. Your 2 centre halves, fair enough, when they're playing together, good. The rest of them, are they getting into the 4th spot?
Udoggy's probably up there as a good. Probably one of the best. Probably not one of the best. It's a hard one to say. There's not many good left backs in the Premier League that we're all shouting about, is there? Porro, I'd probably swap. Anyone at Villa for Porro. Porro's just good at attacking. He's not great at defending. Maddison, Basuma, good. Sarr, energy all day long. Odegaard, it's still early days.
But do they have my point being is, like, obviously you want to be top 4. That's the goal. Right?
Oh yeah.
Do you think, like, even so, you put Newcastle? Or someone put Newcastle in their top 4. I think Mitch.
I did. Yeah.
Like, you look at Newcastle's midfield with Bruno Guimaraes, and like they've got the Italian fella coming back. Even Joel Linton. Like, do you think that either Tottenham or Chelsea's players are better than those players?
I do. I think that proved it today in today's game. Our midfield bossed it.
You lost though.
No, I know we lost, but if you're going to be comparing the midfield,
But they didn't lose 6-1.
We wasn't clinical. We wasn't clinical enough in front of goal. But our midfield and our game overall was good. So we'll see at the end of the season. But I think we've got it. I think if we play the way we played against Newcastle, just obviously can put it in the back of the net with Solanke back and Richarlison, now we actually have a striker. It is hard to win games without out and out striker. Well, you know full well about that. And I know Chelsea do as well when playing the false nine. It's difficult to try and win the league or get top 4 without having a clinical striker that's going to bang in 20 goals a season. Now, I'm not saying Solanke or Richarlison can do that, but if they're getting us 15 to 20 each, then the other midfield players should be chipping in as well.
You're going to be battling for 6th with Chelsea.
No, I think top 4. I think I'm happy with the result. Well, not happy with the result. I'm annoyed with the result, but I'm happy with the way that we played compared to last season against Newcastle and the season before.
I think the thing is with Spurs,
there's improvements there.
Like for me,
3 games in as well,
and away from home as well against Newcastle, which we had the better possession and chances.
You haven't played anyone decent yet, though. Really, like Newcastle have had a tough start. I think. I think the real challenge will be when you start playing against teams like I don't know, Liverpool, Man U, Chelsea. West Ham,
I don't think so. I think a lot of teams they overlook things with the Premier League nowadays. Everyone just assumes that teams like Brighton, teams like Nottingham Forest, teams like Crystal Palace are just going to roll over because a big club comes across.
No.
I don't think anyone thinks that about Brighton anymore.
Brighton, no.
Like, Brighton have been consistently good for
exactly.
3 years,
but you look
4 years?
at it, I get that, but they don't finish in top 4, do they? They finish where they finished last season.
Not many teams do finish in the top 4.
No,
Luke,
but what I'm getting at,
when I'm
talking, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying about those teams that don't get or challenging for the top 4, should I say? Then the teams that you never see Brighton being like, oh fuck me, like Aston Villa did last season. You're not seeing them there. They start off very well. They start beating the teams and then they just drop off.
I agree with that. They do tend to.
They do drop
to have
off.
A sticky period and drop off.
With teams that we play. I think the beginning of the season is always a tough one because the transfer market, as well as players in going out, as well as players getting injured or coming back from fitness as well, where they didn't get it in. And then everyone's like, shit, we need to have a good start. Players get a bit nervy. Don't always try to take too many chances. Try and keep it simple. And no one wants to get injured at the beginning of the season.
But I think the thing is, like, you've had 2 games now where, and I'm allowed to say this because I wasn't part of the argument last week, right? But you did actually genuinely control, like, especially against Leicester. And I would say it was a similar situation today, except you lost.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you just need someone that can actually just. It seems like everyone else other than Son, when they're inside the box, just seems to shit themselves rather than shoot. Like,
it did happen, yeah. Like. It did happen against Newcastle. They just, yeah.
But other than Son, do you feel like you've got players that can find the back of the net? Like Richarlison did for Everton, right? But he was played as a central striker for Everton. Like Solanke did for Bournemouth last season. Again, it's a big step for Solanke, going to one of the bigger clubs again. I know he played youth level for Chelsea and then for Liverpool maybe, but never made that step up. But like, do you feel like there is any other goal scorers in that consistent goal scorers within that team?
Consistent.
Like Maddison might get you 8 a season if you're lucky.
Yeah. I think
if he doesn't have an injury.
If we're looking overall, that's a tough one to answer because I can't really give you an answer to that because our midfield are not like, we don't have.
You've got big, strong working players rather than creative goal scorers, right?
And then we've had that problem. Yeah, we've got players like Johnson. He's doing well. He scored a few goals in pre-season, so he's got the goals in him if he gets in that position. But he hasn't been starting. Kulusevski's been playing, or Odebert's been playing over him. Werner, we all know that he's not going to be banging in a bunch of goals, but he's going to be there for assists. Maddison's got goals and assists. Basuma, he scored a banging goal.
First goal, right?
I know, that's what I mean. He's got banging the goal, but he hasn't got goals in him. Same with Sarr. He scored a good goal last season, but he hasn't got goals in him. Mm-hmm. Romero's got some goals in him from corners. Dragusin with his height, has probably got some. Porro, we know he's always going to get a few goals in the season. I think he was up there as top goal scoring defenders last season. I don't know the full stats, but I know that he's normally there or thereabouts for goals.
I think goal scoring defender was Gabriel last season. But
Yeah, probably was Gary. Well, I mean, up there. I didn't say he was like top. I know he was up there as a good number. I'll have to double check that stat. I might be talking out my arse, but I know he scores a few. He got a few at least, some critical ones last season. But we don't have that. Yes, we're not playing two attacking midfield players. No, we don't have that. We play two defensive midfield players. If we play two attacking, there might be more goals in it. But at the moment, no.
You'll concede more goals at that point as well.
Yeah,
you won't be as solid.
No, we won't, and that's already dangerous. It is because we concede most of the time anyway. So having that extra, get rid of that defensive midfield player with bags of energy. I can't give you a full answer on that one. We'd have to see.
Because I look at your first three fixtures, and I think you probably want to be the same points as Arsenal at that point, right? You probably look at your first three fixtures and think Leicester, we should win that.
Yep.
Your second game, Everton, you should arguably be on 9 points. I know Newcastle away. All right, I'll give you a draw there. So
that's what I
you
was
should be
going
on
with,
7
yeah.
points, right? You should beat Everton, beat Leicester, draw Newcastle.
Yep.
But if you look at the three teams that they did play in the first three games, that even after watching the matches, they should be on 9 points already.
Yeah.
So it just shows that the missing part is just that finishing.
It's just that finishing, which is an improvement from last season. Is what I'm getting at, is that with Tottenham, people are like, but the result wasn't there. But it's like, well, okay, we are. Ange's trying to build the way that he plays for the players, and for us as fans who want to see that attacking football, so that we can enjoy that attacking football, but also try and win games. And if that's that missing piece of what I'm seeing, the Leicester game and this game, is that, it's all great having possession, but if you can't put it in the back of the net, there's no point, is there?
I personally feel like you're going to struggle to score goals this season. Like even with Solanke fully fit, I don't know. I don't.
They all said that last season. They said that last season when Kane was gone. Everyone's like, "Oh, Spurs are going to struggle. They'll be lucky to finish in top 6." Like, we were going for top 4.
Was you? Was you competing for top 4? Really?
We was.
You were,
We was. It's just
up until you couldn't beat Man City. Yeah.
Yeah. I see what you did there. But
bloody son.
Look,
that girl's still going to haunt everyone for the rest of the time.
For me, I'm angry, obviously, that we lost, but I saw the positives in that, and not just going straight at Angie's throat and going, get him out. He needs to be gone. We need to get another manager in. No, I saw the way that we're looking to play, and if we can continue to play like that and get that finish in,
you'll move up the table.
Well, yeah. Even if January comes and we're getting your goal here and there, and Son plays up front.
Well, the other thing you got to think of is the other teams around you, like which will potentially be playing for 4th. Other than Newcastle, if they actually are able to keep it going this season, like everyone else is in Europe, right? You're not.
And also, it's only the top 2 right now that haven't dropped points. Yeah. So there's going to be a lot of room for these teams to go on decent runs, and I still don't think that Villa and Newcastle will get top 4.
No, I don't.
I think all of these teams are going to kind of struggle, especially when Europe starts coming around, and they're going to start dropping points, and that will allow other teams like West Ham to get top 4 places and stuff like that. So,
maybe in the Championship next season.
Yeah, I don't. Oh well, I know this is on the record here, guys, but Liverpool seem to be like they're, doing all right.
Yeah, I mean, they're still not.
They were going to be
calling them to win the league.
Yet, no?
No, I know. But
fuck you.
But for me on Tottenham, I think I'm done on
done on Tottenham.
Yeah. If I say any more, it's going to annoy me.
I've got nothing else because, as I say, I didn't watch the game, so I can't really say anything about it. I don't know if Mitch or Bob have anything to say about it.
I didn't watch it either.
I've watched it, but I think Luke pretty much covered off anything that I was going to say about the lack of attacking threat. Well, not lack of attacking threat. You know what I mean.
Yeah, the
lack of
finishing.
Goals.
Lack of goals.
Yeah, lack of goals. That's what I mean.
Cool. All right. Well, over to Arsenal, the other North London team, who did completely and utterly control the game against Brighton.
Interesting.
It's funny you should say that, Clive. I've got the stats in front of me.
Yeah.
I don't need to know the stats.
No, I agree with you on this one.
Oh well, I don't know why we did not control that game after Rice got sent off.
No, but again, don't forget it was the same conversation as last time with Aston Villa when I mentioned about them if they weren't clinical enough on theirs, and then you could, it doesn't matter. But go on.
I mean, we weren't clinical enough, if we're being honest. We after the red card and their equaliser, Arsenal made the two best chances. Again after their equaliser.
Yeah, I did see that. Oh, there was one before that though. Wasn't there?
Yeah, Ray made a save with his legs.
The Trossard one though. The Trossard cross was fucking phenomenal.
Oh, that was the first half.
The Odegaard should have put that to bed.
Yeah, we should have had a couple goals early on. Even in the first minute, Saka beat a player on the outside, and then tried to deliver a ball, but the goalkeeper smothered it quite well. But yeah, we were looking very comfortable up until the Rice red card, which I'm sure we've all got opinions on. And I'm sure.
What's your opinion on it, Clive?
It is a red card, and he can I've seen everyone talk about it and what's on Twitter and whatnot. But number one person to blame is Declan Rice himself, because he should know better. He has flicked the ball away. There's no doubt in that. Now we sit here and talk about how the ball was rolling, so it wouldn't have been a legal free kick. The ball was chucked probably 8 yards, 10 yards ahead of where the foul was committed. So again, shouldn't have been a free kick. The player kicks through Declan as well, which is completely not necessary. And he gets away with that scot-free. He could still be booked for that, even if he books and sends off Rice.
I know this is a bit controversial, right? But if you look at the I can't remember the player's name now that actually kicked through him. Yeah, that's it. If you look at his face, he's focused on the ball, right? So as he's pulled his leg back, Rice has then kicked it away. So he's just following through with the momentum. So I don't think that's even relevant, to be honest. I think what is relevant is that Rice took a look at the ball and kicked it away. It should be a yellow
he
card.
flicks it away. But the other things that I will say about it is I think he was a bit unlucky. The first half tackle that he did was a yellow card. But if he was a less honest player, he gets fouled in the build up to that. Not the Wolves player, the Brighton player is on the back of him, has a kick out at him, and that's why he overhits the ball and then lunges in. And yeah, at that point, that's a yellow card. Fair enough. Nobody's saying that. The other thing is obviously, Pedro boots. It's the consistency that all the Arsenal players are saying about, Arteta's saying about, and there was one in the Liverpool United game today where United commit a foul and the player picks up the ball and chucks it away, and Anthony Taylor doesn't book him, and that's the big gripe. Is if you're going to do it for one player, you have to do it for every single player, regardless of the situation. If it's a rule that says you're delaying play, you're kicking the ball away after the whistle's gone, then you've got to book everyone. And the Wolves player, the Brighton player,
come on.
the Brighton player, 100%. That's not he knows what he's doing. He's just fucking willing that ball because Arteta's out of his box. Arteta's going to pick it up and give a quick throw to our players, which again is against the rules because he's not supposed to be out of his technical area. But then book Arteta as well. You've got to be consistent with the rules. You've got to. If that's the rule, book everyone for it, not
but
just
that's the thing.
One or two players.
Consistency is a myth in football. It's not going to happen. It's unless you have AI take control of everything.
No, they've got mics in their ears and headphones in their ears and mics, and the assistant referee can turn around and went, well, you booked Rice for doing that, or you booked someone for doing that, or you booked him for doing that. So you've got to book him. You can't.
Yeah, but that stuff's in the past, right? So, like you rightly said earlier, Rice knows better than what he did, right? So, you can only focus on what you're doing in that moment at that time. You can't be, moan. I mean, you can moan about consistency because everyone gets fucked
100%.
But at the same time, it does happen to everyone,
which is the consistency.
Yeah, and it's still the responsibility of Rice in that moment to not do something, knowing that he's already
So
got a
silly,
yellow.
yeah. And that's a lot. I won't. I'm not gonna take anything away from that point, but like it is boring talking about referees and consistency because like there's, as you all know on Twitter, and as you know, Arsenal fans are Arsenal fans.
Ugh,
We will point out every single time there's an infraction against us,
yes,
like
you
every
will.
team does, like any bias does.
No, it's only
But but it does feel like it happens to Arsenal more than it does
So
other teams.
that statement there, Clive, I had a question for you, and it's kind of on what you just said there, right? Because I've seen a lot of social media posts, and oh my goodness me, all of the Arsenal fans, they're very woe is me with every little thing. And this game, I mean, you all just exploded, right? So my question to you is, do you think the ref cost you 2 points?
No, Rice cost Arsenal 2 points.
I agree with you. It was Rice. I don't think many Arsenal fans will agree with you, though.
No, they wouldn't. Absolutely wouldn't. But and after that, as I say, I think we had the 2 better chances, and we could have killed the game. Kai Havertz does amazingly well up until a finish. Saka, in that one chance, again, it's too honest. He takes a touch, takes the ball into the area. The Brighton player slides in, makes contact, but Saka stays on his feet.
I was going to say that as well. Yeah.
A lot of other players go down in that situation.
You need one honest player, don't you?
We got a few. Kai Havertz, and then Saka and Kai Havertz again linked up just after it, where Saka just couldn't get onto the end of the ball properly.
I thought my pick of the fixtures transfers, Calafiori was going to save your bacon because you had a little 2-on-1 chance, and Calafiori, he made a lovely run and he was through. He just needed a pass.
Couldn't find the pass.
Oh,
so
I thought that's it. He's got it.
we've like, again at the end of the day, if you look back at that game, it's 1 point gained rather than 2 points dropped, given the circumstances. You don't want to drop points at home, but if you're playing with 10 men for 45 to 50 minutes, it's good effort by the guys. On the Brighton goal, Thomas Partey probably should track back better. He lets Pedro run off of him and doesn't try and keep up or stay with him. But again, the guys have been working so hard. We invited a lot of pressure on. We didn't really have an outball until Martinelli come on. Overall, disappointed with dropping points, but it's the third game of the season. The biggest issue now as well is Rice will be missing for the North London derby.
I mean, I just want to say that the referee had a blinding game. Yeah, just a blinding game. So I can't say anything bad about him. In fairness, I don't think he should have been sent off. In my opinion, I watched it for like 3 or 4 times, and yes, he kicks the ball, but it's like it's not even 2 yards.
Yeah, but it's interfering with play.
I know, I get that.
Feetman's going to kick the ball,
but as Clive said, the ball was still rolling. Yeah, so he couldn't even take it anyway, and he's just tapped it.
Yeah, that makes it even more stupid.
I know, but I've seen so many players do that. I can't remember. You watch last week's games. You'll see it all season long. Yeah, and I agree. And same with like throw-ons. Amount of times the referee tells the player to go back when he's walking fucking 100 yards. Yeah, to go take a throw on. He goes back and the player still does a few more yards. Why are the players not getting booked for that?
I think it's because, right, he's trying to play it as a quick free kick, right? So, and it's quite obvious that he's trying to do that. And the fact that Rice, you can see his face. He knows exactly what he's doing.
Don't get me wrong. Like as Clive said, it is a sending off. It's just that
you don't do that when you're on a yellow.
I know, but I just feel like if that was against us or any of our teams, when a player just not even like boots it away, it's just a little flick, like a little tap away. It's not gone that far, like 2 yards maybe. Yeah, and then he's been sent off for it. I feel like that's a bit. I don't know.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It's not. I think I think that's the problem, right? Because people go, "Oh, he's been sent off for it." Well, it's a yellow card offence. That's the thing, and he stopped Veetman from kicking the ball.
No, I know, but I mean, we've seen those fouls. We've seen other fouls. There was a foul. Chelsea game, actually. I think the Chelsea game. There was a foul. One of their players, was it Palace's players, was on a yellow and took your player out just before the
Will
box.
Hughes. Yeah,
Yeah,
Will Hughes
that's a
pulled
booking.
someone back.
That's a booking. Anywhere
Well,
that's a booking, Mitchell.
Yeah, I've not seen it. I've only heard.
So that
and
should have been.
They were 50-50 on
No,
the commentary.
no. If that again, that was anywhere else on the game, and he wasn't his second booking, he would have been booked for his first booking. Yeah. So you see.
But that's a bit more open to interpretation. Like kicking the ball away is black and white. I agree with Arsenal fans.
But even
Pedro should have been booked.
So, like, if you try and gain an unfair advantage by taking a free kick 10 yards
in your own half,
like 10 yards from where the foul's been committed.
Yeah.
So the foul was committed right in the corner. He's chucked the ball miles away, and then he's gone to kick it whilst it's moving. So he knows he's not taking a free kick from the point of the foul, and he knows, as a player, you can't. You've got to stop the ball for a free kick. So if you take both of those things into consideration as well, they're both committed before Declan Rice flicks the ball away,
and then let the ref deal with it.
Both cheating, right? So yeah, I don't disagree. But the refs don't deal with it, and that's the problem. Rice shouldn't. Like, as I said, it's a silly sending off.
Yeah. And I know this is a stupid question.
Rice is to blame.
But do you think he would have still got sent off if he flicked it the same distance, but in front of him rather than to the side?
I think he probably doesn't get sent off if he doesn't go down after being kicked.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I saw that, I thought to myself, he's in trouble here because he's drawn attention to it. He's drawn attention to the fact that he's flicked the ball away. Like, if he doesn't go down, like, maybe he could argue that, the Brighton player threw the ball against his foot. Like, you've got that. I think, again, it is like, even with Rice doing that, he's trying to get the Brighton player into trouble as well. So it's not as black and white as a lot of the Arsenal fans would make you want to think. But again, a lot of other pundits and a lot of other ex-footballers are saying it's a terrible red card. It should never be a red card, and that is the likes of Peter Crouch and people that were there watching the game. It's not just Arsenal fans that's saying it, and like even people in our groups have said, rewatching it, it's absolutely ridiculous that he's been sent off for that.
Because he's not fully booted it away, and it's just a little tap, and that's what I thought it was. It should have been a warning, in my opinion. Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that he's been sent off because he doesn't play against Spurs. But if that was my club and one of my players did that, I'd be annoyed with him. But I also feel like it was a bit harsh.
But then the rules got to be changed, doesn't it, to be a bit more?
But that's what we're saying. It's not consistent, is it? That's what Clive's saying as well, and yourself, is that it's not consistent in the league. Like, that's well and good he's doing that, but I guarantee it next week or any game in the week when we see it and we see that happen, no one's getting booked for it.
Well, just don't put yourself in that fucking situation.
No, I agree with that. And as I say at the start, Rice is silly, and Rice has made the referee make a decision, and the referees are always going to decide against Arsenal because it's Arsenal.
Clive.
Yes.
Just quickly, I screen printed a statement that I found on Twitter because I found it quite funny, and I just wanted to hear what your reaction was. This is from a unnamed West Ham fan. Right.
Okay. Is his name Bob?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
No, it's Robert.
So it says, wouldn't see this Declan Rice behaviour at West Ham. Arteta breeds this sort of behaviour from his Arsenal players, and I couldn't be happier to see their shithousery get caught out. So what do you think about that?
There's a clip going around Twitter as well that will cover this off nicely. Against Arsenal, Declan Rice kicked the ball away from Granit Xhaka when we had a free kick. Literally, we get a free kick. Rice isn't involved in it at all, and he goes and kicks the ball out of Granit Xhaka taking a quick free kick. So that's just absolute
Oh, so it's a
by West
Declan
Ham
Rice.
fan.
It's a Declan Rice problem.
It's West Ham is where West Ham and Chelsea is where it's coached into him, obviously.
It's probably Chelsea then.
So,
I suppose.
It's the West Ham.
And I'll retweet that for anyone later as well. That will go. Oh no, he didn't do that. He did.
That's what they sound like.
Yeah, Clive's come with like Kevlar on today, and he ain't taking no shit.
Just obviously the red card is probably the biggest talking point of this weekend, right? With all of our teams not winning as well. Some of our teams didn't lose.
I have to get that in there. Yeah. I have to get that in there.
And Bob made a good point. If we do a goal of the week competition this week, is like there's only really one winner, isn't there? It's Kai Havertz this week, boys. Nicholas Jackson's goal.
He scored an absolute blinder.
Absolute tapping.
It's a blinder for Jackson because he's shit.
Going by both of your conversations last week, Kai Havertz is a lob from outside the area, so it's got to be the winner. Just going on your logic from last week.
I said from a great flick to Cole Palmer and then the goal.
Yeah,
there's a great flick by
that
Saka.
Wasn't a flick. That was a pass.
Great pass by Saka.
No, it was a pass. But no, yes, it was the best goal of the week. I'm not going to argue with you on that.
You never see goals like that except every week. So far.
No. I meant a kick from the keeper, one bounce on the grass, an assist, one bounce on the grass.
Very similar to the
Arsenal. You
Arsenal
don't see those.
It's a long ball.
It was a nice lob.
It's a long ball.
It was on the grass.
Uses his strength. It bounces. He plays it through. It bounces. Kai Havertz finishes it.
Can you, on social medias for Londoners, can you do a side by side, please?
Without a copyright,
and put it to a vote. Not. Oh shit! Fucking copyright ruined.
Bob will be all over that.
Yeah, I'll try.
Yes, please, Bob.
All right, so this.
That could be this goal of the week thing. We could do whose was better, Palmer's or Havertz.
No, we're going to have a goal of the week.
No, we're doing Havertz.
No, we've got we're going to
side by side, Bob. Come on, no, consistency is a myth.
I'm still voting for Bowen anyway. So
there was one vote for Bowen. It did make me wonder. But yeah, this. I mean, other than that, I don't know if any of you have anything else to say about Arsenal.
They're shit.
I don't.
No, I don't.
Other than North London derby next, away from home, we've got to go out and batter them.
With no Declan Rice.
No Declan Rice. No Thomas Partey's going to have to do all the holding.
He turns off against Tottenham, doesn't
he? He does like a goal against you as well, doesn't he? He's got 1 or 2 against you, I think. So.
Yeah. No, I think if we played the same way we did against Newcastle and actually finish, I think.
So completely differently then.
Yeah. Well, we've finishing, Clive, but possession, shots, finishing in the end there. I think we beat you.
Fair enough. We'll do a man versus AI and get your prediction next week as well. Right. So West Ham, Bob.
Yeah, there's not really much to say, is there? To be honest, like against one of the best teams in the world,
You looked good for the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, we did. Well, to be honest, I think the game went exactly how I expected it to. To be honest, City pretty much dominate. We try and catch them on the break, which I was kind of speaking about last week. But they did basically dominate the game. First goal in the first half was a little bit of a loose pass from what's his face, Emerson, to Paqueta, which obviously
bad touch as well by Paqueta.
It was a bad touch from Paqueta, but to be fair, I think they kind of zoomed in on him and made it look like it was always full when Emerson did pass it like in front of him, so it's a bit of a difficult touch to make, to be honest. But anyway, that obviously led to the first goal. Second goal, I don't think you can really do much about, to be honest with you. They were moving the ball around so quickly, and then that finish from
Haaland. Again, maybe ridiculous. A bit like we were saying about Pickford. That maybe the goalkeeper did a little bit better. It is quite. I mean, he's hit it with a lot of power.
Yeah. I think maybe, but I just think it was a great finish, and it was such a flash strike as well, wasn't it? I don't think anyone was really expecting him to go for that shot, really. And then obviously the third goal was a bit of us kind of pressing them, and then they just managed to get the ball straight through the middle, and then obviously Haaland's through again, and we all know what he does from there. So it was pretty much.
Then again, Haaland could be goal of the week. He
We're not
took the
doing.
keeper, didn't he?
We're not doing other
goals
teams'
against
goals.
our teams.
No.
We're only doing
Because
goals
if
our
we
teams
did,
score.
it would be Eze.
Yeah,
that was a
It
good
was a
finish.
blinder.
that was a good goal.
That's great.
Yeah, we just don't want Arsenal to win. So yeah, I think I think Eze's goal then.
Yeah.
Any goal against Tottenham. Vardy's goal in the first week.
We don't talk about that.
But
Laugh.
yeah, I think it was, like I say, exactly as I expected the game to go. Obviously, both me and AI got the results right, which is more than I can say for any of you dickheads this week. What I will say though, I think Wan-Bissaka had another brilliant game.
I
think he did.
Fair enough. And I'm going to be very what I'm going to say is going to be harsh because in the first half he had Jack Grealish and Kevin De Bruyne coming out on his side, and he didn't really have a lot of support. Jared Bowen wasn't coming back very much to help him out, but I think that he doesn't tuck in quick enough for one of the goals, and I don't remember him making a tackle against Jack Grealish once in the first half.
I think you've got.
And I think Jack Grealish looked like he had a good game. Maybe that's because Wan-Bissaka wasn't tight. As I say, I think he got outnumbered a lot of the time, and you don't really want to be up against De Bruyne and Jack Grealish, let alone just Jack Grealish. But I don't think he had a great game.
I'm basing it on the fact that yes, he is up against some of the best players in the world right now, and also when he got the ball, he looked comfortable in it. I think is more what I'm basing that on. I do recall him making a couple of challenges, especially in the second half. I think we had a better half in the second half anyway. Yeah, I just think he looks comfortable on the ball, which is something that we need in our defence. So that's probably making me say that he had a good game because of those factors. But we're not like your teams, we're not battling for top four.
You're fighting relegation.
You just at the start of the show, you said you were, though, Bob.
Yeah, I know, but what do I know? I'm drunk, so who knows? But yeah, I do think he had a good game again. I think once Kudus finds his scoring boots, that Bowen and Kudus break is going to be pretty damn deadly, to be honest with you.
You are going to cause a lot of teams trouble because, as you say, Man City, the best team in England, possibly best team in Europe, and their defenders are. I was a little bit disappointed that you didn't try and get at Rico Lewis more because obviously, if you look at that Man City lineup, that right back position without Kyle Walker is the weak spot, right? And Kudos is arguably your best attacking player, maybe Paquetá. Fucking hell, Clive. But I was quite. I mean, you didn't have a lot of attacks in the first half. You did definitely look better in the second half, but other than the first 3 minutes where you actually looked like he was going to give them a game.
Well, to be honest, I do think we actually gave them a game. Really, like there were in those counter attacks that we had, there was definitely a couple of occasions where maybe on a different day, Kudos does score that. Where you hit the bar or the top edge of the post.
Somerville made Edison make a great save. Well, but I think that was at 3-1. But
yeah, I think the game was dead at that point. But certainly the Kudos one, I think on another day, 2-2. You never know, do you? But I think, once he starts scoring, I think we're going to be pretty devastating on the counter attack if that starts to happen. I think. A couple of the concerns, obviously Areola came off at half time. I don't think there's been much released about him because I have been trying to find out, but as much as I can find is that it's a back injury. But I don't know whether he's going to be available for the next game or whatever.
With the international break, a few players like to have a little bit of a pull up just before, don't they? So,
Yeah, true.
Make sure that they're not playing for their countries.
Very true.
Wait for it this week, all the Arsenal players.
I think Tottenham players already started, didn't they?
Yeah.
And the only other one, I think Paqueta's been pretty quiet. He did have a couple of involvements in that Man City game, but actually, while we're on the subject of West Ham, sorry, that I don't know if any of you saw the midweek game, Carabao Cup, where
the Jarrod
West
Bowen
Ham
handball.
Bournemouth. The Jarrod Bowen handball, but that was literally the worst game of football I've ever seen in my whole life. Like, what the fuck was that? Like, for 80 minutes, I've never been so bored. Like, and that's all I have to say about that game. That's all I noted down. I've noted down in my notepad, worst game ever.
Worst game ever.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got to say about West Ham. I think.
Yeah, I mean, Haaland hat-trick, back-to-back hat-tricks. He's
Yeah.
going to look like he's going to take some stopping again this season. So
He is, yeah. Listen,
never really expected, like, as you say, never really expected anything from West Ham on that particular game. So
no, and I think anyone else, I think we'd. I don't know.
I think you are going to cause problems. I think you are going to cause a lot of teams a lot of problems this season. But obviously, you've not exactly had an easy start to the season either, have you?
No, but it gets easier from now because we've got Chelsea next. So, no, we ain't actually. We've got Fulham next. Sorry, yeah. But
you'll lose that, and then you'll beat us.
Yeah, couple of easy fixtures that'll get us going.
Wanker.
Anyone else? Anything on West Ham, or shall we move over to Chelsea? Nothing. Right. Mitchell, Chelsea.
Yeah. So I mean, I've seen the goals, but the rest was listened to on the radio. So I will keep it short and sweet. First half, pretty good. Second half, pretty shit. The first half, I mean, Neto, Palmer, and Madueke, the three that I wanted, are doing what they did last week. But the difference being, Madueke, he had a lot of chances. He just weren't as clinical as he was against Wolves. Although, is it Henderson, their goalkeeper? He made some brilliant saves, piling on the pressure all through the first half, and he was keeping Palace in the game. And then the second half, it all just went wrong. Eze scores a beautiful goal. You're not saving that. It was pinpoint. Fantastic goal. And then after that, it all went wrong. Madueke gets injured. Gusto gets injured. And Gusto and Madueke on the right. Very good in the first half. And the whole dynamic changed. I mean, we had, I think Caicedo went into right back. And then we had Mudryk come on into the left. Again, he's been very quiet for us. And and Jackson. Oh, what can you say about Jackson? I mean, he's not missing that goal. I'd love to say, oh yeah, right. He's got a couple of goals now. Lovely, but nobody misses that goal.
He has to be there though, doesn't he? He has to be there. Don't be so harsh on him.
No, because right. I say why. Because you're right. He has to be there, and he was there for other chances. Most notably, the 93rd minute to steal the game, to win it after an abysmal second half. And it's just, this is the difference between a top quality striker and Jackson. He fumbles it at his feet, and then he just shoots directly at the goalkeeper. There's no finesse about him. It's I don't know if he's in his head too much, or he's rushing, or it's fucking a blood rush because he gets excited. It's like, oh, here we go, I've got the fucking ball, and then he fucks it.
You watched the goal, didn't you? You saw Jackson's goal, yeah, the tackle.
Yeah.
If you watch it again, you'll watch him. He thinks about it for a split second and doesn't use his left foot. Any other player would use their left foot to tap it in, but he used it on the outside of his right foot to tap it in, because if he used his left, he could have just knocked that across the goal instead of in the goal. And I noticed that when I watched it, I was like, why has he done that? No, he's literally for a split second, and yeah, I think he's lacking confidence in front of the goal at the moment, and you finish it regardless. It doesn't matter.
The thing is, like, how can you lack confidence when you're scoring? Like, what's that about?
Well, yeah, I mean, I can't remember his goal last week, but the little, that's right. Yeah, this is it. The little tap-ins. I'd like to see him create and score his own goals, not just these little tap-ins. I mean, I'm all for it. Please score all the goals.
You've got him for another 9 years.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
He must be doing the same, right?
You lose out on Tony and Oshiman. Jackson is
you're our man.
Yeah,
he's our man, and he knows it, so he can just be as shit as he likes.
Tell me though, Mitchell, right? If Jackson, say, scored 25 goals this year, and they were all exactly the same as that goal that he scored today, would you be okay with that?
Yeah, then I'd say he's a good striker because he's doing what he needs to do. But just from last season, because I think he got 15 goals last season, which isn't terrible.
Luckiest hat trick in the Premier League. I'll say it again.
Eh? Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I'll say it again.
Yeah, all right. But that is him in a nutshell. It's just like, I don't know. It's just awkward. He gets these weird goals, but then the easy goals, like the 93rd minute, he should have done better there. And there was a couple of chances where he should have done better, but 9 times out of 10, he shoots at the keeper or in the centre of the goal. And he's just, I don't know. I'd like to, I don't know, see Nkunku maybe try and play up front, because now we've got this new system where we're playing Neto and Madueke and Palmer in the middle. Nkunku is not getting game time. I mean, he did come on at the end because, again, there was a few injuries. But he was playing on the right.
Obviously, Nkunku played Thursday night, right? You just looked at Harry Kane's trophy, haven't you? you just seen it, haven't you? In the WhatsApp group.
You're a prick, honestly.
I mean, I don't design the trophies, but
mate,
he's got one.
It doesn't matter, Clive. You're just a prick. Yeah, this is why we rant against Arsenal fans, especially yourself, when you send shit like this to me. Yeah, for the podcast, all right, so people can see this. Yeah,
that is not real.
That is 100% real. That's what.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That's what strikers get for being the top goal scorer in German league.
Clive, the Arsenal fan in this podcast, has sent me a picture of Harry Kane with I guess it's like a trophy, so to speak.
It
on
is
this
a trophy.
thing.
Yeah, it is. A rare thing for a Tottenham fan to see. Yeah.
Of a gun. Yeah.
Cannon.
I want to say gun. I don't want to say the word cannon.
It's a cannon.
Yeah. I don't want to say the word cannon. But as they've pointed out, yes, it looks like one, and it looks like a club's, sort of.
The club that is sports.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like it looks like the Arsenal cannon, so to speak, on this thing. Wow. And it was all going well with Chelsea, and I think we should go back to that because this knobhead.
I'm happy to stay with this.
This knobhead he's riding me up at the moment because there's no need for that.
Go on, get your fucking handbag out again.
There's always a need.
Fucking. Have you heard the thingy thing? I can't say it.
The thingy thing.
Because Mike's gonna have to bleep it. You know the people call in to the channel.
Sport Talk.
Yep, Sport Talk. Yeah. The Spurs fan called in to take the piss out of Martin Keown.
Right.
For start, I don't want to go into it, but the Spurs fan was wrong.
The Spurs fans are always wrong.
The Spurs fan, I see Arsenal fans. So you admit it when the Spurs fan's wrong, but they just can't admit it.
You riled him.
Oh, yeah. Hook, line, and sinker.
But yeah, he was trying to piss him off, but it didn't work because.
Like Martin Keown is usually because he's a pundit on that. Like he's regular. Yeah. He does tend to stay quite calm. And he has to battle it out with Simon Jordan sometimes. So fair play.
Does he stay quite calm?
Most of the time he does, yeah.
Maybe it's just the clips.
Yeah, I must admit he was he was pretty good in listening to the fan instead of like cutting him out while he was talking. He let him finish and then went back to him. Got respect.
Because he knew he was wrong.
Well, probably.
Let this idiot just chat away and then our. But anyway, yeah, Chelsea. So Nkunku. He played Thursday night, right? He scored a penalty.
Penalty. Is that the Italian way of saying it?
Penalty.
And he played. Did he play up front on that Thursday night game?
Fuck knows. I don't know. I didn't see the game. I just know that it was 9 changes in the squad, and we lost 2-1.
But if he's not playing well in games like that because they're like a Swedish farm team or whatever they were.
Oh, easy
So
five.
it-
They surely that's when those players, the fringe players that want to be playing week in week out, need to be performing.
Not when there's 9 changes. If you've not got your
Consistency.
consistency is a myth, mate.
Yeah, it should be the title of
If
this.
you've not got distribution,
That will be episode title, I think.
Yeah.
yeah. If you've not got the distribution, I mean, again, put Jackson there, he ain't going to do any better.
But,
this is
right. I don't want to stick up for Jackson, right? But the thing is, he's got 2 in 2 for you, right? So how
assists as well, and assists.
Like how are you dropping him at this point? Like
because of the misses. The misses are so bad. It's just like this.
Everyone misses.
This is my point.
Misses.
Okay, but
you miss.
Yes, I do.
All
But
the time.
I'm not in a squad that's trying to fight for top 4.
No, we always.
And this
are.
is no, I mean me. I miss. Yeah, he's just not good enough at the moment, and I don't know if he's going to get there because he had a whole season last season. I was hoping he'd start better and have a bit more confidence this season. I get what you're saying because he has got an assist and 2 goals, but you don't miss the goals he scored.
So you're saying, sorry, go on.
He's had a lot of distribution from our quality wing players. He's had a lot of distribution, and he's not made anything of it. And these are the differences between dropping points. I mean,
but how long do you carry on with that?
3 points.
So, like, if
stuck with him.
say for example, next week's game you play. Who the fuck you got next week? Not next week. The week after.
Who have we got?
I don't know. It doesn't matter anyway. You lose 3-0, and then you go.
Away.
Yeah. And then you play us at home, we beat you 4-0, which is going to happen. Like, at that point, if you, like, say in those 2 games you had Nkunku playing in that position that Jackson's playing in.
Doesn't get a goal, doesn't get an assist.
Doesn't get a goal, doesn't get an assist. Like, do you just carry on with that system, or do you keep Jackson?
Just in the next 2 games?
Yeah, but you're basing Jackson's performance on, like, 3
But he had
games.
a season. He had a season.
Yeah, but this is the start of a new season.
He had a season.
How many goals did he have at the start of last season?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to go and look. But this is what I mean. I think he got 15 through the whole season, which isn't terrible. That's fine.
Wait for Mitch.
Oh, sorry. I'm just fidgeting. But like I say, because of the Palmers and the Maduekes, he gets so many chances. He should be scoring more. And my point is, he'd be great in a West Ham side, in a bit of a worse team. But when you're battling,
because if he misses a lot of chances,
yeah, but they're not battling for top 4.
But you need to be.
Yeah, we are.
So if you're getting a lot of chances and missing a lot of chances, you need to be in a team that is going to create even more chances to score a goal.
Yeah, by statistics, yeah. So you need to be like Man City or something.
So he'd need to be in a banging team. Like in West Ham, he's going to have 1 chance a game. Is he going to take it?
And if you didn't have him in your team today, there's potential that you lose that game.
Well, wait, but we don't know because again, Nkunku or Felix could have played up front. So we just don't know. And Felix probably would have put away that chance in the 93rd minute. He'd have had a bit more finesse to put it round the keeper.
He might not have been there.
Yeah,
he might not have been
if he was up front.
Yeah, but he might not have been in that.
Advocate. I like it. No, I don't disagree, Bob.
Yeah, listen, like you say, if he gets 25 goals at the end of the season, all by what he's done in these last 2 games, then I'll say
you're forgiven.
That's fine. Yep, you're forgiven. That's good enough.
Yeah.
But at the moment, like I say, in the 3 games, and again going off of last season, he's getting so many chances, and he's. My point is, he's not the difference maker. He's just below that quality you need from a striker, the one that can actually change the game and win you the game. He's not winning you the games.
Okay. Fair enough. Like I say, well, like Clive said, I was playing devil's advocate because I also think he's trash. But I was just,
Oh well. Fucking hell. Yeah. So yeah, Chelsea is all over the place.
Anyone else want to comment on Chelsea? No. I don't think so. Nobody likes him.
Fuck you, Clive.
So it's time for the beep boop beep boop. and
people
Bob's
boo-boo.
idea
yeah.
of Man versus AI. So
Whoa.
Outsmart match.
Back the fuck up.
I mean, in a sense, that obviously we're going to do the England one this time round.
But are we not going to do the
We're going to do the
table
results.
standings?
Did you not listen to me before we hit
No.
record?
No, I wasn't here.
Well, we haven't been recording
I
the
was
whole
eating my
time, you
dinner. I was
dickhead.
having
No, literally before we hit record, we said, "Fucking hard."
No, I don't remember.
You're
That
an
was a
idiot.
long time ago.
We said we'd do. Yeah. All right. So we're going to do England's predictions this week. We're going to do the results from this week's games, and then we're going to do the England predictions.
What? Who
Yeah.
decided
I mean,
that?
it's
Bob,
another great idea
because
of
it was a
mine
great
for this
idea.
podcast.
What a prick. Hang on, now I do remember. And you're saying it's a great idea. What was your comments about England, Clive?
I don't fucking care. Right. So results from this week. Obviously, AI predicted Brighton 1, Arsenal 2, so 0 points. It predicted West Ham 1, Man City 3, 3 points. It predicted Chelsea 2, Palace 1, 0 points. Newcastle 2, Tottenham 2, 0 points. Bob also correctly predicted Man City 3, West Ham 1, so he has got 3 points.
Can we add a cheer in there, Mike?
And goes to the top of the table.
Boo.
Clive predicted
And another
a 2-0
cheer.
Arsenal win, so 0 points. Luke predicted a 1-1 draw, 0 points. Mitchell predicted.
That's it. We'll end it there.
Mitchell predicted a 4-1 Chelsea win. Go on, Mitchell. Say your catchphrase.
I can't remember what it. Oh yeah. Well, I mean, it's fucking impossible to predict Chelsea, isn't it? I mean, as you go from
I told
6-2
you
to a
last week
1-1.
that
How do
you
you
were
do
going to
it?
go
How
back
do
to
you
your
do it?
shit, normal, inconsistent self.
Boke. Well, we consistently
Only when
score a
Jackson's
lot
in
of
your team.
goals. Sometimes. Consistency's a myth, Bob.
So, the league table as it stands is. Let me bring the spreadsheet back up. Bob on 4 points, top. This is the mini league between us all. So Bob on top with 4 points. Clive seconds with 2 points. Mitchell and Luke drawing bottom
There
with
you
1
go,
point
Luke.
each.
You'll be all right, mate.
It is putting Luke at the bottom, so at the moment he's in the forfeit spot.
Wait, how?
Because you're bottom.
Yeah,
Because
but
you're
how?
shit. Because you're sports Spurs.
The spreadsheet does calculations. I can't go into the science behind it.
Yeah, the spreadsheet
You are
doesn't
bottom.
lie.
Of course. So if the two people join bottom,
If
the
there's
same points.
two joint bottom, you both do the
Luke
forfeit.
loses. Well, no, Luke loses.
No, two people do the forfeit.
We've just fired.
Wet. Jesus.
Fucking hell.
Can you,
I'm gonna need a 10-minute
do anything with
break.
that, Mike? I don't know.
Yeah, made it.
So,
Fucking hell, you dirty bastard.
in the overall standings,
Wait. I thought you're just going to casually move on like no one fucking heard it.
So England play Ireland away on the 7th, and then they play Finland at home on the 10th. Luke, 2 predictions, please.
2-0 both results.
Easy. Right, you can fuck off.
Bye, Luke.
Okay. Cool. Right.
You're not going to want to speak about any transfers that Tottenham didn't do on the final day.
Exactly. We didn't do anything. I was
a couple players out, but that was it, right?
The Sterling one and Sancho one caught me by surprise, but you guys will talk about that anyway.
Oh, mate.
You see, they didn't want to argue this week.
I'll swap them out, my prediction, and have them getting relegated instead of West Ham.
Ange Ball, fuck off.
Yeah.
You see Luke jump back in a minute. He's burning.
We wonder if he mentions this little segment, so see if he actually listens to the show next week, shall we? What are your thoughts on the results?
I think
Bob?
the
Results?
Ireland game, it's going to be a 1-1 draw. And I think the other game is going to be 3-0 to England.
Mitchell?
Oh, I mean, that's very conservative, isn't it? Let's make it interesting. I'm going 4-1 England against Ireland. 3-1 against Finland.
So copying Bob on Finland.
Did he say 3-1?
I did say 3-0, yeah. But he always copies my ideas, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did copy it.
Right, let's go England 4, Ireland 0. And Finland, I think it's going to be a tie game, and I think 2-0 England. Right, that's my predictions. Let's see what the AI bot is going to say. Beep, boop, beep, boop, beep, boop.
Well, you ain't done the predictions already on the AI. You're slacking this week, Clive, honestly.
No.
No agenda.
What dick, honestly.
I know.
Fuck, no agenda. I couldn't believe it. Almost didn't turn up.
Right, AI is coming. AI has predicted a 2-0 England win against Ireland and a 3-0 England win against Finland.
It knows to follow me, except in the first game. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's running scared, isn't it, now? So the other thing we've got to talk about is transfer window, closing night, and last bits of business. I mean, didn't you? No, you didn't. Did you do anything on the last
Yeah,
game?
we did. Yeah, we did. But it was slightly less shocking than your 2 bits of business, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, Raheem Sterling, obviously Mitchell wanted him out, so he got his wish. Probably didn't want him going to Arsenal.
Not exactly that.
Probably wanted some money for him, and probably didn't want to still be paying £240 a week on his wages. Yeah,
240 quid.
£240,000.
£240
a week.
You got him working in a
Bargain.
warehouse or something.
But from an Arsenal point of view, I think it's a good bit of business. Getting a Premier League established player who's played at top level, 29 years old, can play both left and right, and he can play a false 9. As I say, no loan fee, no transfer fee, and we're paying a fraction of his wage. Right?
He's just a top 6 slut.
Top 6 slut.
He's just. I'm not going to say it. He's not consistent, Clive.
Consistency is key. No, but at the moment, I don't think Martinelli's very consistent. We spoke about him last week, and kind of, I don't know if the plan for Raheem is to play him week in, week out, or just to be a kind of not bench warmer, but come off the bench and make an impact. It's nice to have some proper cover for Saka, because Reece Nelson, as we've said previously, Arteta just didn't fancy. So
Where did he go in the end?
Fulham.
Yeah.
So he's joined Bert Leno and Emil Smith Rowe and Iwobi at Fulham. So I hope he does. I think that's only a loan as well, with no obligation to buy. But I hope he does well there. And I kind of, as much as I don't want a London derby or a London rival to do well, I kind of do hope for them to have a decent season.
That's kind of you, Clive.
I know, right?
Yeah.
The best team in that area of London, anyway, that Fulham kind of area. So Chelsea also decided we haven't got enough wingers now that Raheem Sterling's gone. Well, let's go and get the winger that set alight Manchester United in Jadon Sancho.
Might as well have just kept Sterling. What side does he play, Sancho? I mean, fucking hell. What would you want backup for the backup? It's too much, isn't it? Although, I mean, I don't know how serious Madueke's injury is, but yeah, I don't get it. I don't. Sancho, like you say, he wasn't brilliant for United. So why are we getting him?
I think it's a loan.
Is
with
it a loan or was it full transfer?
You.
Not necessary. I don't really see the purpose behind it. I just wanted a striker. I think I've made that clear. And fucking Tony. Well, I don't know if it's him or his agent. Greedy bastards. I can only assume it's our new wage structure that, Tony doesn't like. He just wants the money, which is a shame because I think he could have made a even bigger name for himself at Chelsea and been the difference.
I mean, it's very hard
maybe,
to turn
but
down a
fucking
deal that's worth 100 million and no tax after 2 years. Like, at 29 years old, I know they're all paid an absolute crazy amount of money as it is, and Chelsea probably would have paid him, what, 250 grand a week and all of that gum. But it's 100 million pounds, man.
we do 60, 70 a week now, but we have some pretty crazy incentives. I don't know what they are, but I'm sure it's money for goals, and Tony would have with the wingers that we have, he would have put away the chances that Jackson misses. Let's just put it that way.
The other one for Arsenal was obviously the loss of Aaron Ramsdale after Southampton, and we brought in Neto from Bournemouth on loan as cover. Obviously sad. I like Ramsdale. I think he's a great character.
Yeah, got off to a great start at Southampton, didn't he?
Yeah, no, I don't think Southampton. Like, I watched the highlights from Match of the Day. Southampton do themselves no favours the way they play it out from the back.
No.
Absolutely no favours whatsoever.
I think they were kind of comparing it to Burnley last year,
Yeah.
which is a very similar thing. Like, they're sticking to the system, but how long do you leave it before you start changing it when you're getting battered every week?
Well, it's a bit like Arsenal when, and I'm not going to say like it's Ramsdale's fault, but it's a bit like Arsenal when we had Peter Cech and Socrates and David Luiz. Like, they're just players like David Luiz could play a little bit, but they're just players you don't want to have on the edge of your box taking a goal, like from the ball from goal kick, inviting pressure. Like, they're not players that are going to be able to pass their way out or beat a player like, for instance, William Saliba or Timber do. I think they're going to ask for a lot of trouble. But yeah, I think we can, unless you've got anything else to say, I think we can wrap it there.
Well, I was just going to talk about the West Ham signings quickly, if that's okay, Clive.
Yeah,
if that's
sure,
all right with you.
Whatever.
Nice to say.
Sure, I mean, they didn't.
Yeah. How excited is he about that? Yeah, fucking if you have to. Jeez.
Well, no, because he wasn't playing for one. He wasn't able to play. But we just done like a straight loan thing, pretty much. James Ward-Prowse gone to Nottingham Forest.
Wasn't it? Yeah.
Just a loan deal.
You watch him score a free kick first game.
Oh, so here's the thing, right? I'm not too upset about it. I do quite like him. I just think we've got other players that
I just don't
are better
see
than him
being mobile enough and offering anything other than set. And I think that's why he's not got into the England squads. I don't see him other than his set pieces. He's not a great box to box midfielder.
Yeah.
He's not a great creative midfielder. He's not a great defensive midfielder. So
Yeah.
at Southampton, he got away with it because they relied on set pieces so much. But again, got relegated when he was there. So
yeah, and we've got other people that can take good corners and take good free kicks. So it's just really not it's not a big deal for me as much as he was good last season. I just and then we got Carlos Soler as well from PSG on a year loan as well. I don't really know much about him, but it'll be interesting to see. I'm assuming that it's a kind of like for like kind of thing. But you could clearly see the difference because James Ward-Prowse started against Bournemouth in the Carabao Cup earlier in the week. When we made the changes, there was such a difference in quality, like an unbelievable difference in quality, even though we still didn't play particularly well. But for that last 20 minutes, it was a standout difference. So, yeah, I'm quite, again, very happy and positive with our transfer window.
yeah, I mean, I think I'd be happy if I was a West Ham fan with the business you did. You got obviously you got the new coaching, and they've all got to learn to gel, and you got to learn how to play with each other. My early opinions is that what's the German striker,
Fulkrug.
by the looks of it, he's not gonna be the starter. I keep thinking, what is he going to offer that is better than Antonio? And I don't think there's much.
I agree. I think I've seen enough of him now to kind of think, well, okay, because I was initially thinking, and I think we spoke about it before, that we'd have Fulkrug starting maybe 70, 80th minute, we bring in Antonio on for that bit of injection of pace and that kind of thing.
Just
But
battering ram kind of.
yeah, but it kind of all feels a little bit Danny Ingsy to me at the moment. And we've already got Danny Ings, so what's the point?
Yeah, I just don't. I think it was kind of it took everyone by surprise, but I think obviously you missed out on the Villa player who then scored the winner against you. And he would have been a starter, right? Because he's got pace, he's got stamina, he's strong. You could see him replacing Antonio.
He's basically a better version of Antonio. Is
maybe
basically what he is.
maybe not better, but younger. Let's go with that. Maybe.
No, I'd say better.
Okay. But yeah, the German fella, I just don't see what he's going to add. Maybe his hold-up
maybe
play is better. Maybe. I don't know. I've not seen enough.
I haven't seen any of that. In fact, he's been involved in 4 matches now, and I haven't seen anything from him at all, to be honest. But yeah, maybe it's one of those things where eventually he'll kind of mould into that position, and players around him will start working to his strengths and stuff like that. But at the moment, who the bloody hell knows?
Right, I think we're going to wrap there then, boys. We will do an episode next week still, although the international break means everyone gets disheartened and nobody likes it. But we'll chuck something together. We'll talk about kits and stuff like that, I think. And we'll see how we're doing against AI in regards to fucking international games.
Yeah, and we can do our predictions next week too. So at least that'll be fun.
Exactly. That'll be fun. We all look forward to me predicting Arsenal beating Tottenham.
Yeah.
And Luke predicting Tottenham beating Arsenal.